Oh, hello there. I think this is actually maybe going to work. Like I'm just checking to confirm. What? Is YouTube Live actually going to work for me? Wow. Oh my God, it's working. I think. I hope. I'm gonna dial back the audio a little bit. Looks like it's a little bit loud. I'm waiting for confirmation from my sound technician. As soon as I get confirmation from my sound tech, um, let me shoot a quick message here. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, respond. We here for you. Well, anyway, sound or no sound, we're rolling on. The show must go on, as they say. So, um, double checking the audio, or sorry, the video stream here, making sure that we're not cropped too much. No, we're cropped good. I'm just a little um was just a little concerned because I'm using a new software. So I'm trying to make sure everything's working on that end. And all right, we have audio confirmation, so apparently good on that end. Thank you, Baldric. All right, so yeah, getting a lot of questions these days. Partly because just you know, had a lot of people looking at the stuff here. So yeah, 1.5K views on that one. Trying to, oh, there we go. A little bit more familiar with Twitch. In America, we usually use Twitch, but okay, yeah, 2.3K on that. So yeah, we're about at around 5K for this month. First month back streaming, 5,000 views. Ain't too shabby. Pretty happy with those numbers. But with with all these new views, have come a lot of questions. Who is Levain? What does he play? How did he get started? How is he so good? Where's he from? What's he do? And so there was a moment of sorry, that's just another technician confirming audio and visual. Um, so yeah, anyway, we got a lot of questions, heard a lot of feedback. We here, or you? Um, for all you Succession viewers out there. BT Dubs, this is not a product endorsement. Actually, this is a product anti-endorsement, but Egypt is running out of Monster. Um, long story short, what I believe is happening. Yeah, okay. So to answer question number one, where are we at? We're in Sheikh Zayed, Egypt. That's where we're based out of right now. Last time we streamed, we were based out of middle nowhere America. Uh, for the past few years before that, when we started live streaming, we were based out of Saudi Arabia. Um, so we're kind of bouncing around a little bit. Um, and anyway, we're here. We're in Cairo. Um, to answer like a popular question we've received. Um, anyway, so yeah, we're in Cairo, and starting from like I'd say like last week, it's been hard to find Monster Energy, and so I've had to rely on Red Bull, which kind of sucks because it takes like two Red Bull to equal one Monster for me. Um, and believe me, I've looked around a lot of places, and I finally found some last night. I stumbled upon a little canteen, um, haberdashery or bodega. Bodega is the word I think I'm looking um, for all you New Yorkers, New Yorkers. Um, and I found some. They had like a supply. Like probably the only place in Cairo that has a Monster Energy, I think. The major retailers obviously don't have it. And I finally found one I ordered, had it delivered from Talabat, and like the can was like a little bit empty, like it's light, and it wasn't fizzy, but it was sealed, and it actually ruined the experience for me quite a bit. Um, so that was like 3 days ago. And so I went a day without Monster. Then yesterday found Monster, so I stashed up a few cans, but they're gone. So now we're back to Red Bull. Because in Egypt it's either Red Bull or Power Horse right now. Like those are like the only two things that you can get. Whereas in Saudi Arabia you had Monster, Red Bull, Power Horse, 4G, 5G, you had a bunch of other stuff ranging from like 2 reals, which is like 50 cents, to Monster, which I think was around $2, which would be about 8 reals. So limited options here, which again I hypothesize is due to the economic situations continuing from the war in Ukraine. Um, how does that affect Egypt? Well, Egypt gets a lot of, or used to get a lot of these imports, predominantly wheat from Ukraine. And if you chart the value of the Egyptian currency with the dollar and the war with Ukraine, like March 2022, I think it was, 2021, I don't remember. But they go hand in hand. Like you can put the graphs, the charts, timeline of events of the war breaking out and the Egyptian currency plummeting side by side. The secondary reason is a lot of companies like Apple. Apple announced a few years ago where they're putting in their first ever African headquarters in the new administrative capital, which I believe just got named 2 weeks ago. Official name is the new capital city. So, if I recall correctly, anyway, don't quote me on that, but there was a new name and it sucks just as bad as the old name because why? I don't know. They could it's Egypt. They could borrow like from Memphis or Thebes or Amarna. I mean, like Egypt has had like 10 different capitals in 6,000 years of existence, but we're gonna name it New Capital City or some boring stuff like that. Anyway, Apple decided with the war breaking out, they were gonna suspend those operations, and so did like every other company from America and internationally, except China. Plenty of Chinese stuff over here. Um, so almost immediately after that happened, the Egyptian government had to run to the IMF, as they always do, to beg for more money and to sustain itself. And it's kind of still working. And now apparently Monster Energy is not shipping to Egypt or something. I don't know. It's the latest victim in this whole affair, which is really sad. I mean, everything about the whole situation is sadder, but like, yeah. Anyway, product anti-endorsement. Um, so next question on the list here. Oh, the list here. Our fun little flippy droid for all us 90s kids. Put this back and it's so cool. Just waiting for the iPhone Fold. That's like my dream device. Um, every time my buddy runs into all these tech gurus and CEOs and at conferences and stuff, like he may or may not have been to Apple at one point, and I'm always like, dude, when you see Tim Cook, ask him, just tell him, beg him, like, we want that folding iPhone. Like, come on. But like the touchscreen MacBook, it appears to never be coming. So, um, but Tim Cook, if you're listening, uh, lots of people want to spend lots of money on this stuff. Anyway, yeah, second question. Oh, second question was, what games am I playing and what games do I perceive I will be playing in the near future? And the answer to that question is always Gears. Gears 5, Gears of War E-Day, the new release coming out next year. Um, Now why Gears? Because Gears of War, that franchise was created by Epic. Most of you know Epic, most of you younger kids generation, Gen whatever we're on now, Alpha, Zeta, Zulu, Z, X, Y, whatever generation we're on now. You guys know Epic from as the creators of Fortnite. I knew Epic as the creators of Gears of War. And the generation before me, my father knew Epic as the creators of Unreal Tournament. And anyway, they created the Unreal Engine, which is like their like largest contribution to the gaming scene, I would say, or the gaming industry, maybe historically. I think they're on Unreal Engine 5 now. Yeah, 5 is the latest. Um, and anyway, Epic created Gears of War, then they sold it basically to Microsoft, and they run it with the Coalition, the studio known as the Coalition. So about 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, Gears of War came out for PlayStation, which is like phenomenal. It had never been on PlayStation before. So we're getting a PS5 within a month or two. That's kind of the plan. Again, economic situation in Egypt is a little bit sketchy. Not sketchy, but like a little bit uncertain. Uncertain is the word I'm looking for. Um, so like I'm not really I'm happy to take a break from gaming if it means I can keep putting food on the table for a bit. Because who knows what's going to happen next, with Trump in office, maybe war with China and Taiwan breaking out, Russia more so than they are now. You never know. So it's kind of like Apple. I can't put my plans on hold. But anyway, next question. Let's open our flip. And okay, so people like 90s kids, they think the flip thing is like it's gonna be so cool to have a flip phone so it can hang up on people. But like I've discovered since having this Moto Droid Razor, sorry, Moto Razor 2024 edition, I've discovered I've had it for like a year now almost, and the coolest thing is actually flipping it open because it's like a lightsaber type thing. You just go flip, and it's just so fun just to walk nonchalantly through the mall and just like you're drawing a sword or something. Sword. But all right. So why don't I play more battle royale games? So okay, great question. Battle royale. I look at for me, I consider Gears 5 battle royale because it is 14 player. Anything like above like 8 or 9 player, I would say 8 or 10 players. Um, I would say it's battle royale ish. Um, and then and you can check YouTube on this. You can go on YouTube, watch the video of me playing Fortnite for like the first time or whatever. And I found it incredibly boring, and I could tell that they were bots, but at the same time I couldn't tell they were bots. So both in both ways, it kind of ticked me off because like I felt like if you're having bots in the game, it should be really clear that, hey, these are bots. Like in Gears of War, if it's a bot, it's real clear because they have an asterisk after the name. Um, so this is number one. And number two, the fact that they're bots at all really, again, made me irritated because like I'm a competitive guy. I almost exclusively have played multiplayer only, no story mode games ever, ever, ever in the past, well, since I started gaming. Aside from only caveat being Nintendo franchises like Animal Crossing, Pokemon, these things I'll play single player, of course. Who wouldn't? But yeah, I don't know. I was always real competitive back in the days of the GameCube. So the GameCube, I grew up during this kind of this golden era where we had Super Smash Brothers Melee, I think it was, yeah, Melee with the GameCube, and it was like widely considered like the best ever Super Smash Brothers ever made. Ultimate was great though, or Brawl I think maybe came out after that. But like the one for the Switch was really great actually. But I think a lot of people would contend that the GameCube uh version, like the GameCube generation of Super Smash was like the golden era of Super Smash Brothers. And at the same time, you also had the golden era of Mario Party, which is kind of competitive with all the mini games, and Mario Kart. You had Double Dash, which like to this day, Nintendo has not done a dual kart racing game, like a dual player like you have two characters sitting in the car at the same time. To this day, to my knowledge, I have not played Mario Kart World, so I have to caveat that. Um, they haven't done it again. So there were a lot of developments back in 2023 to 2020 or sorry, 2003. Oh my God, 2003 to 2007. You know, you had Halo 3 come out. Halo, obviously Halo 2, but Halo 3, I think, well, it was my true first experience for Halo. Like, okay, so growing up, like my buddies all had different systems. I wasn't allowed to own game systems. I didn't have a Game Boy, I didn't have a game console. My parents didn't let me do video gaming. Um, um, Much today, like I compare it to today, like how some of the modern generation, their parents don't want them maybe on social media, for example. Um, it'd be an equivalent scenario. And so when I turned age 10, like grade 4 or 5, my dad made a deal with me. He's like, all right, you get all A's on your report card for the year, I'll get you a Game Boy. So of course I did. I got the Game Boy Color, I had turquoise one, and my first game was Rocket Power, and my second game was Pokemon Crystal. Again, widely considered one of the best games in that franchise ever, Pokemon. So I entered in at a great time, entered video gaming at a great time for a lot of reasons. And again, more backstory. My father was a huge gamer. Oh my God, my dad, his first job out of college, or even while he's in college, and as he graduated and after he graduated, his job was repairing computers. I didn't learn this until like 2008, 2009. So like when I was like 20, 21 years old, we had to restore our old E-Machines desktop crap computer, and the hard drive broke, and they sent us a new one, and we had to restore it, and I'm trying to tell my dad, like, hey, here's what we gotta do. Here's how my dad's like, I used to do this. I used to be a computer repair guy. I'm like, no, I know you as a finance aviation guy. And he's like, yeah, that's how I got started with my company. Okay. Um, and so then going on beyond that, I discovered like 4 or 5 cardboard boxes in our storage unit full of old PC games and the legendary ones like Doom, Quake, uh, all the Command and Conquers, of course, which I did play. My dad did let me play Command and Conquer on the PC when I was younger than age 10. And I'd see him playing a game called Empire, which was I'd say an equivalent to like Age of Empires. He'd game and it was before like online multiplayer really existed. It didn't exist really, to my knowledge. And him and my uncle and maybe some other buddies of theirs would email the computer file between each other on dial-up internet. They'd make a turn on Empire, then they'd send the email on dial-up internet on AOL. Uh, and my dad would be up late nights in the basement playing this Empire game. So it's in my blood. Um, And anyway, I got competitive because my dad was competitive, I think. He's always playing these strategy games like Risk. Now like for the past 10 years we've been more on Catan, but always trying to, beat the other people and be the best. And you can't do that with story mode. I mean, story mode, yeah, you can have lots of fun. I have lots of fun. I played Elden Ring. Actually, I got it on release day. I took my lunch break from work, went and got Elden Ring. I was so excited. Had a lot of fun with it. Um, Leads into my next question. Someone asked me what I thought about From Software. From Software, yeah. The only thing I played from Software is Elden Ring, which again, great point of entry for the series. Kind of unusual. Um, Kind of deviated from my understanding from the previous entries in that franchise or previous titles they made. I can't recollect exactly how it was a little bit different, but I recall a lot of praise for Elden Ring, of course. I understand the second DLC and maybe the final DLC either came out recently or is coming out soon. Only issue there was, only reason I didn't keep playing Elden Ring because I really had fun. I couldn't pause it. You could go to the site of grace with like a little campfire thing, but there was no pause button. And our baby was born like a few months later. And so obviously with the baby, like I have to have that ability to pause, otherwise I'm just gonna, you know, it's gonna be incredibly frustrating. I'm just gonna keep dying, whatever, it's just not fun. It wasn't fun. Thankfully, Modern Warfare 2 came out, the remake, around that time, so I was able to get in some like, quick matches here and there. Next question. iPhone or Android? Of course, iPhone. Kind of already talked about that, but obviously I'm using Android too. Um, good reasons to live on both, but iPhone's better. PlayStation or Xbox? Okay, yeah, if you know me, you know I was more on the Xbox. But these days, if you're following along in the gaming industry news, like, no one's on Xbox anymore. Like even Americans are like, we're not gonna do this. And Microsoft, and I can't figure this out. For some reason, it's baffling. It really is baffling. I have not seen anyone have pitch a solid reason why Microsoft and Xbox president Sarah Bond, why they are still hell bent on destroying the Xbox brand. Like everything they do and everything they say is like an antithesis to making money and building a brand and doing what they should be doing. And that's not a terror. Like it is shocking a lot what Microsoft has done to Xbox, how they've ruined that brand. Yeah, it's shocking with how fast they've done it, certainly recently. But at the same time, the warning signs were there. So again, Gears of War almost got ruined. That franchise, when Gears 5 came out, a lot of OG players like myself that started with Gears 1, I had the poll up there. I believe the poll is put on here on YouTube. Um, Asking did I start with Gears 1 or 2? I started with Gears 1. Um, but Gears 5, there's a huge backlash to that when it came out because Microsoft, it was like the first one I think that Microsoft kind of did under the Coalition Studios. And it was mainly a lot of the backlash was related to microtransactions, but then of course there's a story element where why is Kate the main character and blah blah blah, which again I didn't care about because I don't do the story mode. Um, they recovered. They recovered real nicely. But every other studio that Microsoft has touched their hands on, like Minecraft had a problem. They almost ruined Minecraft. Uh, I'm thinking of Blizzard or Warcraft or like pick a flavor. Like every game studio Microsoft touches or buys, I should say, they fire everyone. They make dumb decisions. They ruin the games. And alhamdulillah, Gears hasn't been ruined yet. We'll see how the new release comes out next year. Hearing a lot of positive vibes about this other game called, which is next question, James Bond. What do I think about the new James Bond game coming out now? That is incredible. I hear a lot of positive stuff about that, especially now that GTA 6 got delayed again. Surprise, surprise. Um, so hey guys, see you in the chat. Um, so James Bond. What is my favorite memory from James Bond? Like someone asked me, like, because I heard me talking about like Nightfire, probably. I'm guessing. Oh no, they probably saw me playing GoldenEye because I think I live streamed GoldenEye a few times. The re-release, the original re-release on Xbox, you can play GoldenEye as it was released basically back in 97, 98. I don't know, so around that time frame. I think 98. Um, they had a remaster on the Switch, but I opted to play the original because it was free with Xbox Live. So that was really cool. Oh my God, GoldenEye was amazing. Nightfire, second most amazing Bond game. I grew up with Nightfire too. My buddies had GoldenEye, then the GameCube came out. I got it. Got GoldenEye, got Agent Under Fire, or sorry, Nightfire and Agent Under Fire, both those games. Now what's the new one coming out? Just check it out. New Bond game. Uh, First Light. Okay, so we just got our first glimpse of First Light. Um, Boy, that was like last week. It's pretty fresh news off the press here. Um, and that is looking like amazing from what we've seen. Now, of course, now the gaming world goes. Um, yeah, First Light does seem amazing. Of course, the cars and everything, but the key on GoldenEye is how is the multiplayer going to be? That's the key. I know they can do the car thing. They had the car looking really good at the Aston Martin. I believe it was a Valkyrie. I believe the Aston Martin Valkyrie is the one that they used, the prototype custom developed car, actually thinking more so for the game. Um, the supercar. Um, yeah, they can make it look good. They can make the car run nice. I played Forza. Like I played actually probably the first time I've talked about this, but I played Forza. I believe when Forza Horizon 5 came out, like, which was like again, I jumped into Forza at one of the best games ever of the series. I can't remember the exact name of it. I think it was Horizons 5. It was when I was in Saudi Arabia back in 2022, I think, or 2020. And amazing. But how is the multiplayer going to be? Because I just know they're going to ruin it. Like, call me, like, usually I'm a realist. I'm not an optimist. I'm not a pessimist. I'm usually like, I'm more of a realist. But based on everything I've seen recently, how Halo's went multiplayer, how Battle Royale has been a big thing, how the new Call of Duty is doing. Like a lot of backlash. No one's playing Black Ops. Like one, I never touched Black Ops because I hate Treyarch. I was always an Infinity Ward studio guy, always playing Modern Warfare series. I always thought Black Ops sucked. I never touched it. Um, and now I've been vindicated, and yeah, no one plays Black Ops anymore, right? Because it sucks. Um, Alhamdulillah, maybe if Call of Duty will finally die. That franchise has gone on for too long. Next question. What was my first Call of Duty game? Call of Duty 2. Back in 2006, 2005? 2005 is when the Xbox 360 came out. I believe it was a launch title back in November 2005. I got the Xbox 360 a month after it was launched for Christmas 2005, 2006, whatever year. Um, So I played not Call of Duty 1, but I played Call of Duty 2. Like not Modern Warfare 2 again. Not the remake of Modern Warfare 2. Call of Duty 2. That's good. Um, I've been playing Call of Duty for 20 years and I'm just ready for that franchise just to die. Like it just sucks compared to what it used to be. Um, yeah, those were the good days. The glory days of like the chaos in the lobbies and Gears 1, 2, and maybe even 3. You'd have a lobby host, and the host would choose the weapons, choose the maps, and the lobby host could actually kick people out of the lobby. So if you're causing a problem, or they don't like you, or they don't like the way your character looks, like are you too good or whatever? All right, just kick the person out. Um, Obviously that did have other effects, like you had host powers, and we could always tell who the host was because their shotgun was a little bit extra powerful. But you learn to manage it. I mean, that's part of the fun, Like in Gears of War, part of the fun is like why do I love Gears of War so much? It's another question. I got 30 questions here, but like question number 17, why do I love Gears so much? Like it's chaotic, because you don't know like how much damage you're going to do on I'm checking the chat here now. Play Battlefield 6. Oh my God, like I'm dying to play Battlefield 6. Like yeah. I really want to play Battlefield 6. I've seen a lot of game footage. I've heard a lot about it. I'm ready. I'm ready. I played Battlefield. I tried Battlefield 2049, which of course was like a low point for the series. I played the one right before or right after that. If there was one after that, I don't remember. But I did play one of the good Battlefields too, and I had an amazing time. I thought it was amazing. I played it for like 5 minutes, and I was like, had a great time. Um, so yeah, that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably switch over to Battlefield because uh I have to keep my Gears of War skills up because being real competitive, we're forming a Gears of War esports team. So for E-Day, in preparation for E-Day, we got like let's say 6 months to 9 months to prepare for this game coming out to get our team solid. Um, and we're gonna try. We're gonna we're looking at competitions internationally and everything. It's a serious thing what we're doing. So I have to keep my Gears of War skills up. At the same time, I have to go to Counter-Strike. Another question was about PC gaming. Yeah, 2049 is horrible. Yeah, Battlefield 3. Who's my favorite student? They know. They know. Um, I don't have favorites. I'm professional, as M said in James Bond. Being professional, Bond. Uh, she's talking about regrets, but yeah. One with a Nokia phone. Okay, yeah, I don't remember the Nokia phone. Metal Gear, Nokia phone. Talking about James Bond, oh wait, you're saying the first light he used a Nokia phone? That would be so crazy. Like, who uses like Nokia? I haven't heard now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Um, all right, yeah, so yeah, I guess based on the live stream, we got tackle question number five yet. How do I make money? What I do for a day job. Obviously, I'm not making money on live streaming, gaming with only like with little I do. Um, yeah, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher in the Middle East. I bounce around Egypt, Saudi Arabia, but predominantly for the past 8 years, I've been in Saudi Arabia mostly. At the university, several universities. No, I said it's your favorite yapper because it's in me. Yeah, I don't know who you are, and I'm not gonna out you on a live stream. I'm just gonna pretend that you're not a student. You're just like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know. I've had thousands of students over the past years. I still have students from like 2019, like from university in Riyadh, like messaging me and stuff, like helping them with thesis statements and PhDs and stuff like this. But um, no, I don't. And I'm not gonna pretend to even figure out who you are. Um, because guess what? It's the weekend. I'm not a teacher right now. I'm a gamer. We do gaming. Quit talking about school. Let's talk about question number nine. Question number nine. Oh, that's interesting. What is my favorite Nintendo game? Oh, favorite Nintendo game. Okay, so Nintendo obviously not big in the Middle East, but I went to the official Nintendo store in Riyadh because at Al Faisaliya Tower Mall they had I say had, maybe it's there now again, but they had a Nintendo official store. Then they were remodeling the entire mall, so like they destroyed that entire part of the mall and they took it out. But I assume it's back because Saudi Arabia is with the sovereign wealth fund or the public investment fund, whatever. They keep buying more shares, and more a higher percentage than Nintendo. I think they're up to like 8 or 9%, 8 or 9% right now. Last I checked, the Saudi government owned like 5% of Nintendo back when I was there. So they did have a presence in Saudi Arabia, and I made some of my greatest discoveries back in Riyadh. I was at the computer souk in the big computer souk in Saudi Arabia in Riyadh. I can't remember the crossroad street, the big street it was on, but like near the Olea district, a little bit south of that. And this is pre-pandemic. I'm walking into this market and all these old game systems and lots of Nintendo stuff, PC stuff, PlayStation, whatever, and discovered, again, my greatest find ever, two brand new inbox sealed Nintendo DS Lites, a silver one and a blue one, and I bought the silver one. Um, to this day, I regret not buying the blue one too because like I ended up flipping it on eBay in America for like hundreds of dollars. Um, but so yeah, Nintendo is somewhat in the Middle East, and Favorite game ever for Nintendo would eas I mean, you can't beat Pokemon Crystal. Animal Crossing had some great times in Animal Crossing, put hundreds of thousands of hours in Animal Crossing. But Pokemon Crystal is like near and dear to me. I was really lucky because they did re-release back in 2018, 2019. Um, and with the re-release, it was like exactly as it originally was on the eShop, which is now shut down on 3DS. And everything was exactly the same as it was originally, but they released the Celebi or Celebi, I don't know how to pronounce that Pokemon, but they released this event Pokemon that was not available in America ever, but it was in Japan. You could get it in Japan back in 1999, 2000 on the internet in Japan, but you had to connect your Game Boy to your mobile phone. And you can imagine a cell phone from 2000, 1999, 2000. I mean, it's worse than dial-up internet. And so, like, basically, no one ever had this Pokemon before in the entire world. And Nintendo said, "Hey, we're Game Freak, Pokemon Company. Those three companies own the Pokemon franchise." Um, the developers, Game Freak, said, "Hey, we're gonna release this event for America." I caught it. That's the only ever shiny hunt I did. I reset for that shiny Pokemon probably around 2000 or 3000 times. Like I'd have a break period between teaching or whatever, and I'd just be like reset, reset until it gets shiny. And I got that. I got it. Preserved it on Pokemon Bank, Pokemon Home now. So Pokemon Crystal, favorite Nintendo game ever. Love it. And still play it to this day. Have you found Monsters Inc. stories yet? Are still stuck with Red Bull? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, you must have just joined the live stream. Yeah, yes and no. I found a little canteen, a little tiny shop somewhat near me that has monsters. How much they have left, I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you where it is or what the name is because it's gonna be all mine tomorrow. I'm gonna go back and buy all of that they have, just to stock up for the future. Um, because this just doesn't cut it. Red Bull just sucks. And I just know that the day is coming where I'm going to drink my last Monster. Because I remember the day I drank my last Von Dutch. So maybe you don't know about the Von Dutch brand, but I think it still exists as a clothing company. But back in my day in 2005, 2006, the Von Dutch company had an energy drink. So there were four main energy drink brands back in that day. There was Monster, Red Bull, Full Throttle, and there was Von Dutch. Von Dutch, they quit making that back in like 2007, 2008 or something. And I remember this day, like it's my favorite one because it was my first one I ever had. I was at the bowling alley with my good friend of mine, and I think she got like a Full Throttle or something, and I got the Von Dutch, and it was like that was my introduction to energy drinks. And I remember to this day, the last time I drank Von Dutch was in probably 2008, 2009, maybe a little bit later. But like I went to the store, I was visiting my grandma, went to the store by her house. She lives in a small town. And I went to the store by her house and they were selling these Von Dutch drinks for 50 cents. Normally they were $2.50. And I'm like, oh my God, Von Dutch, it's going away. And it did. Like that was the last Von Dutch drink I ever had. And I've searched around, like trying to find out, like I've Googled like occasionally throughout the years, like try to figure out who owns the company, like or who owns the recipe for that. And last time I searched, I still found the company exists, but no information about the drink or whatever. So I assume they still have the recipe, whatever. But if I was like a billionaire or a millionaire or whatever, I'd buy that recipe and just make a Von Dutch drink just for myself. Um, checking the live stream chat here. Your favorite teacher forever? Well, yeah. Well, I'm everyone's favorite teacher. She's like, yeah, I'm awesome. I know. Hello there. Well, hello there. I don't know if you're quoting Obi-Wan Kenobi or not, but a surprise, to be sure, but a pleasant one. How you doing? I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. How you doing? What's your favorite story from your time in the military? What's my favorite food? Okay, it's a favorite food question first. Favorite food, lasagna. Lasagna. Um, And I don't even try to eat lasagna anymore because like I just haven't found any places that make it properly, and I never tried it actually in the Middle East. I just refuse to try it because I love all kinds of food. Like I love all kinds of food. Chicken quesadilla, kosher. I'm always ordering kosher or shawarma. But like lasagna is the one food like I don't want to like tarnish the memory of. So I just like I eat my mom's lasagna, but I don't eat lasagna at the restaurants in America because they give like a small little portion. They'll make it good, but they'll give like a small. I have to order like two or three. But like um, oh, what's that question? Oh, the military story. Yeah, Allah. I was just talking to my buddy in the military today. He's still in training, whatever, graduating in like a month or two. I mean, my favorite story this day is like, God, okay, not my favorite story. It sounds so wrong to say my favorite story. He lived. The guy lived. He's alive. Um, but my most interesting, exciting story was in training when we were throwing hand grenades. And stop me if you heard this before, but I was on ammo detail that day, so they're like every week, like they have like 10 of us, like okay, you're in charge, like you're the helpers, like you're helping the drill sergeants with whatever they have to do for that day, the whole day, all night, all day. You wake up maybe 2 hours before everyone else, like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever, 3 a.m. And then you keep working until the night, midnight, 1 a.m., 3 a.m. that whole week for 7 days. You're the helpers, and we were the helpers that week on ammo detail. And so we were loading grenades all week. Like I'm loading grenades, like the practice grenades. So there are like two types of grenades in army training for infantry. There are like the real grenades, and then there's the practice grenades, which are still exploding. They're still dangerous. Like they explode, but they're not like the real grenades, which are like they're not real grenades. They are grenades, but not the real ones. So we started the week by practicing with the dummy grenades, like just like it's like a baseball, but like maybe two or three times heavier. And so like it's that size of a baseball. And so we're practicing our throws or whatever because we have to pass the test at the end of the week. So you got like 5 or 6 days to do this, to do all these three steps. You have to practice with a dummy grenade, then you practice with a somewhat real but still not real grenade, and then if you pass these things, then you can throw the real grenade. And so we get to the point where we're throwing real grenades, and again, me and five other people were loading these grenades, preparing them, setting them out, like not loading them. Actually, they came preloaded, so we didn't have to load them. But we had to get them out of the packaging. So like you open the box, they come in like a little cardboard tube. You cut the tape, open the tube, pull out the styrofoam, pull out the grenade, boom, put the grenade. So the drill sergeants could give it to the soldiers or the trainees. So we're doing this all day, preparing these grenades, whatever. But because we were the ones that are helping with the grenades, yeah, but some people didn't hear it. Maybe. Uh, I don't like bechamel. By the way, BT dubs, I don't like bechamel. It's Arab lasagna, yes, but it's not lasagna. I hate it, actually. I hate bechamel. Do not mention that. So anyway, we're because we were helping with the grenades, we got to throw them first, which was really awesome because I was number one. So they had like six different lanes, and I was in first lane. So I was like the first one out of the 200 of us guys to throw the grenade. I had no idea what to expect. Like I never thrown a grenade before. I just see it in movies and games. So I chuck it. Oh, it's so awesome. Like the ground shaking, and everything, and the sound and everything. And you get to throw two. So of course when I throw the second one, I'm like, oh yeah. Well, after we throw the grenades, us six helpers, we 6, 7 helpers, we go back and we're helping whatever, and we almost finished. All like we're down to 180, 185 people at that point in time. I think 176 maybe trainees, and We hear the drill sergeants yell, "Ceasefire! Ceasefire! Ceasefire!" So okay, this is never good, you know. I mean, someone got hurt, or did something really stupid, typically. And that's what happened. Yeah, whether it was an accident or not, or really he tried to kill himself or not, I don't know. Like we hear mixed things, we hear his side of the story, we heard witnesses their side of the story, and whatever happened, like because they tell us like don't look out the window, don't look out the window, don't look at what's happening. So like obviously like I'm there loading grenades like right by the window. I'm looking. Um, I'm like, what am I gonna see? Like a body part, like an arm laying over here or something, like like they dead? Well, what happened was that a guy threw a grenade, and when you throw the grenade, you're in like a pit, and the wall is about as high as my chin, like maybe this high or shoulder height, maybe. But when no, it's actually higher. I'd say it'd be like maybe it's pretty high. It's a pretty high wall, and he threw the grenade, but it hit the wall, and it landed by his feet. And when that happens, you have 3 to 4 seconds to get the out of there. And the Alhamdulillah, the drill sergeants, the cadre that was in charge were amazing. They told us at the very beginning, they said, if we put our hands on you, you go for the ride. Meaning, if we get to touch you, you're going flying. Your body is flying if we touch you. Because when you throw the grenade, you have to take a knee. Basically, you have to get down on your knees as soon as you throw it. So you're sheltered by this wall. Well, of course, that wasn't going to save him because the grenade was by his knees, by his feet. So the drill sergeant picked him up and they both dived and they survived. Um, that was like the most intense thing I witnessed in the army. Um, if I gave any job in the world, what would it be? President, President of the United States. If I could restart life with all the knowledge you gained, what would I do differently? Nothing. I regret nothing. I do everything the same because it led me to this point in time. And now I'm incredibly blessed to have a lot of things I have in life. I'm incredibly blessed to have experienced a lot of things like the army, the Middle East. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything that led me to this point. Butterfly effect. Um, yeah. All right, got time for like maybe one more question here. We're rolling around an hour here. And it's now about midnight. Right. What random question here? No. Some inappropriate questions which we're not going to talk about. Hmm. 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 Okay. No, I wouldn't invest in Bitcoin. Because again, maybe I'd do like be a billionaire or something and just get high on drugs and ruin my life. You know, who knows? Like hypothetical situations will drive you crazy because there's too many hypothetical situations to possibly fathom. So just don't bother. Um, but last question here. If I could own any car in the world, what car would I own? What car would I buy? If I could buy any car in the world. Right now, for the past couple of years, I'd say my dream car has been the Porsche GT3 RS. Based on all the footage I've seen, all the reviews I've read, um, I've been in one. I haven't driven one yet, but I've been in one. Been in a few like comparable cars. Ridden in some cars like it. Not like it. There's nothing like it. Okay, let's be honest. There's probably nothing like it. But yeah, that is my dream car, the Porsche GT3 RS. Last question from Momo. Did you play Ark Raiders? Nope, haven't played Ark. I've heard about Ark. I don't know what it is. All I know is the name Ark. Great question, because I forgot all about Ark. I know nothing about it. I just know the name, like Arc. Actually, when I saw the name, I thought people were talking about the graphics cards from Intel. Like the first time I saw them, I'm like, why is everyone talking about Intel Arc? Like, different, different Arc. But no, I don't have a gaming gear. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I came great. Yeah, that was another question I had. I was gaming on a Lenovo Legion. mm, I was like, I had a no, sorry, had a Lenovo. I don't know if it's Legion series. I assume it's Legion series, but the LOQ or LOQ, I think. Intel 5 anyway. Prior to that, I had a really nice Lenovo Legion 7i Pro, ninth gen, I think, maybe eighth gen, but I think it was ninth gen. It was a God, I miss that laptop. Like I would never build a rig today. Like I have buddies that build rigs. I've built rigs before. I'm all about mobility though. And like building a rig, yeah, you get more benefits. I know all the benefits. I've done it, but today, like portability is a bigger factor for me 'cause I travel a lot. I'm only losing really about 34 to 40% graphical power, which is kind of huge, but at the same time, I'm not like my screen, like I don't need the best 4K graphics. That's an advantage that my generation has that you guys, I'm assuming your younger generation, you don't have this advantage. You get a lot of people in this generation, they need like the younger generations, they need 4K, they need that kind of 20 to 200 frames per second. Otherwise, they're not competitive, whatever. They don't feel comfortable, they don't have their mojo. Like I can game on like 3 frames per second. I can still kick everyone's butt. Like throw me any system, whatever, I'll dominate. So being mobile doesn't hamper me at all. Actually, makes me even better because I can just like go anywhere, game from anywhere, kick butt from anywhere. And if I were buying a system today or buying building, if I had the money today, tomorrow, uh, that's tempting. I do know where some Lenovo Legions are. Um, yeah, I know Threat sells some. Um, yeah, I buy the Lenovo Legion prior gen. I would not buy the new gen Lenovo Legion 7i Pro because they changed the screen type and um, the previous screen type, I forgot what type it was, is only available in a certain region of the world right now. I think maybe Korea or Japan, maybe. Um, If I had all the money in the world, I'd buy a Lenovo Legion current gen 9 because that has a better screen type. And again, I've been out of the game for a bit, so I'm not up on all the screen types, but I just know that can't remember if it's IPS or OLED or whatever. It wouldn't be OLED, but maybe mini LED. I don't know. But like the previous gen, I think I'd still go with the previous gen for Lenovo Legion. If I were going with a gaming rig. Lenovo Legion 7i Gen 9 even save some money. Get you a killer system with like a NVIDIA 4080 is what I had, which was very sufficient for what I was doing. But no, now you know I have the 50 stat or 5000 series, of course. But yeah, I could get a ninth gen Legion laptop with a 4080, even a 4060. I was gaming on a 4060 before I came here to Egypt. I had a in a Lenovo Hero, whatever, lock or whatever they call it. Stupid line. Um, it was a 4060. So I went from a 4080 to 4060. I had no problem. A lot of game footage like you see on my Twitch or my YouTube, whatever. I'm dominating. I mean, it's just like I'm not playing games that demand high fidelity. I don't need the super best of the best. I just need to kick butt, and I do it pretty well. So. Well, we're rolling around hour long here. It's now midnight. Clock just literally just struck midnight. So I'm gonna call it a night for everyone, for me anyway. Um anyway, it's been fun, it's been real. Seems like the software held up. For the curious, I am using Streamlabs right now. Uh Previously I used OBS to stream, prefer OBS for a lot of reasons, but that was for Twitch. OBS was having some problems streaming on YouTube, so I'm gonna click the end stream button here, and I'm gonna go back and look at the recording and evaluate audio quality, video quality, um, see how we did, frame rate, all that jazz. But yeah, good, good having you here. Thanks for joining.